Good afternoon, Nompu, and to our viewers at home. We're coming to you live from Emperor's Palace. That is day one of SADTU, the National General Council. That is where we've seen members from various provinces just gather here to discuss issues, take stock really of what has been happening in the education sector. And just a moment ago, we saw a minister, Angie Motshekga, that is the Minister of Basic Education, here at home, just addressing those that are gathered here, the men and women on the ground, really in song right about now, just more or less welcoming what the minister presented here in terms of government's role and its interventions in addressing some of those challenges that are experienced by workers. But I'm going to bring her into the conversation now, the Minister of Basic Education, Angie Motshekga, to just let us in on her address here. We saw, Mama, you addressing a very important issues. You touched on the ECD, that the department is really excited about what is to happen where this program is concerned. You're also touching on the state of workers, so that most of them are really have been going through a lot of challenges presented by COVID-19 and also the issues of violence that have marred some of the country schools. Maybe just let us in on your role here as the Minister of Basic Education and the address that you gave to the members that are gathered here.
No, I really, as I said, I really appreciate when our unions invite us, because as you correctly say, these are the people on the ground who really help us also to understand much more better the work that we are doing, and working with them, especially visiting the NGCs, looking at the resolutions, gives you a good sense of what your colleagues, or whether your unions or your workers, their aspirations, their views and their feelings. But more than anything, which is nice about an NGC, because you talk policy. What are the expectations on their part of the policy, but also share with them what the plans are in the department. So it's a very beautiful interaction and sharing of ideas from their side about what really are the policy issues that they're looking at. On the other side, share with them what are our government's plans, though on an ongoing basis. We interact, but to really have a bigger audience than just union leadership, for us is very important.
Just let us in then on the role of government, really in addressing some of the challenges that the workers have experienced on the ground. We know very well that most of them are just in the receiving end of the socio-economic challenges, and COVID-19 also had its toll. And the workers are looking at engagements like what is happening here to try address some of those issues. What has been the role of government in really trying to help workers that are struggling?
No, we work in partnership with them, because some of the problems require all of us as society. We always say education is a societal issue, so you can't be in a situation when say government is to really say from where we stand as government in terms of discharging our responsibilities, what are the things that we are putting in place to make sure that teachers are safe, teachers are taken care of, but teachers are also supported. But on the other hand, working, and hence it's very important to work with unions to say, as unions, how do we work together to make sure that indeed we continue to understand their ongoing challenges, and as partners work and find solutions that are workable, but also are relevant to the needs of our schools, but also the needs of our country. So it's ready to work in partnership with them.
Yeah, the elephant in the room, Minister, being that a 3% wage offer that was presented at the bargaining council, and workers, we know very well that they've been saying that the socio-economic challenges on the ground have really left them without nothing in terms of just faring or fending for themselves. And we know very well that this is something that the morale of workers when they are not being paid and all of those things, and the money not coming to the fore, and really what has been decided on in 2018, government not coming through to the party has affected them. Have there been some sort of engagements with the labor unions for them to find each other at the bargaining council as they reject that 3% that is presented there by government?
No, fortunately, as a minister, I also serve on the committee that negotiates. So I'm not at liberty, because negotiations are still happening. I'm not at liberty to say this is what the final issues are. So we're negotiating or discussing with them on an ongoing basis. So the matter is not closed. We'll continue to talk. Even today in cabinet, when I'm rushing back, it was raised. So it's a matter that is on the table.
All right. Minister, thank you very much for your time. The Basic Education Minister there, Angie Motshekga, joining us to just give us a sense of what she presented at the podium a moment ago, addressing the National General Council of SADTU here on the ground. And you know very well that most of the workers are really not happy. The morale is low, and they are looking at engagements like this to address some of the socioeconomic challenges, to come up with ideas and really resolutions that would ensure that their challenges and the plight that they're feeling on the ground is taken into consideration. The minister there, you heard her saying that they're really willing as government to work with the unions, and they get encouraged when they're invited to councils like this, where policy is discussed, where resolutions are taken, those that will really transform and move the education sector forward.